I tried so many things because it'd been like 27 years, I think, something like that, that I'd suffered with ulcerative colitis.
You've had it for almost a generation, right? So in
Yeah.
terms of what it's like living with colitis and then not having it anymore, what are the differences? Talk about, some of the decisions you had to make in the past. I'm sorry if that brings up some difficult memories,
Yeah.
but compared to what now is the situation for you.
Yeah, I think I would say sadly for me in a way, because I had an autoimmune problem with the colitis, I ended up with loads of other things that came as a consequence of that. So I ended up with endometriosis, and that led me to have operations and a hysterectomy, which meant it took away my choice if I wanted to have children. And now I've ended up with this osteoarthritis. I sound like I'm a bit of a disaster, really, don't I? But I'm not. It's okay. And I think had I known all of that back then I wouldn't be in the situation I am today. I'm 52 now, and I think I'd got to the point where I felt like my body was giving up, that it was too tired to do anything. I just felt like my body was tired of fighting the colitis. I think I just got so used to having pain. I got so used to going to the toilet. I got so used to thinking, okay, I can't start my day until 10, 11 o'clock in the morning or later because I need to be at home because I have to keep running to the toilet. That has all, I don't even think about it now. I can't even imagine or remember, ironically, what it's like to have that feeling of that pain. And I used to get this dragging feeling that my guts were being pulled inside out, and I don't get that anymore. So it's like I can just not even think about it. I know I will get up in the morning, go to the bathroom, and then carry on my day like a normal person and eat what I want, really. If you can, on a plant-based diet, I can eat what I want and it's fine. Yeah, so it's a massive turnaround for me after having, I sort of felt like my life was scheduled in a certain way to deal with the illness, and now I can be free. I think that's the expression. I feel free to go and do anything. I can go on a flight around the world, and even though it turns your stomach upside down in your whole sleeping pattern, it doesn't matter because within a few hours I'm back to normal. It's all those things that used to completely throw my body off. It doesn't seem to have a problem now. Gradually, everything I've noticed over the years, my stomach's got better and better and better, to the point where I can go out. Like we're away on vacation, and I went out and I had a vegan burger and French fries last night because I'm away and I can enjoy it. I can enjoy every food. So I think why carry on? To me, it doesn't make sense. I wish I'd known this years ago, and I wouldn't be in the situation I am in now with other things with my health. It's just not worth staying on the meds for. It really is not. You just get to the point where you don't even think about it anymore. I almost feel like I haven't had colitis. I'm like, oh really? Did I really have that? Did I really go through that? Because I just don't have that problem anymore. I don't find it a problem. I enjoy that. For me, it's when you feel so well after feeling ill for so long, why would you want to put yourself in a situation that could possibly make yourself ill again? To me, it's illogical. It doesn't make sense. So for me to be able to go somewhere away, even if I have to two or three times cook my own food, then that's fine. That's great because I know I feel great and I can enjoy myself. It doesn't make any sense to me to do the other, to go out and think, oh, I wish I could eat this, I wish I could eat that, oh, I wish I could have that piece of fish, look at them, having barbecue ribs, and I'm like, no, it's like poison to me. I'm like, no, I don't even, I go somewhere and I'm always questioning them in the restaurants, what are they putting in everything, and if there's a chance there's something in it, I'd say I'd prefer to go hungry, thank you, because I don't want to take the risk. I'd prefer to go and buy myself a salad or sit and eat some tomatoes or something. It's just, you feel much better for it. Because my whole life doctors have said, oh, what you eat doesn't really affect you. And I was battling with this in my brain, saying it's not logical. Of course it affects you what you eat. And all the gastroenterologists are saying, no, it doesn't. You're just ill and you've got this illness and you've got to take meds for it. So when I started learning the side of how all the food, works in your body, and that now your second brain is your gut, then it's like, yeah, this is logical, it makes sense to me. And that's why through the whole thing of learning all that and then starting to see your body change as well by doing it, yeah, it's a no-brainer not to do it, really. It's peace of mind as well, isn't it? It's I like to be in touch for you because I think it's really nice for you to see that your work isn't in vain and that we do appreciate what you're doing, and we are very grateful for helping us lead a better life now. Very, very much so. I'm eternally grateful, and so is my husband, because he's now been plant-based with me and he feels healthier and happier, so it's made a difference to both of us, for sure, and yeah, it's very good for us to keep in touch with you and let you know what's going on with us, definitely.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of IBD Heal, a podcast brought to you by High Carb Health. I'm your host, Shakul, and today we are joined by the wonderful Natasha. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So Natasha is a repeat on the podcast, aren't you? We've had you on before, and we're very excited for you to come on and share your journey and talk about what it is like to have a life after colitis. So, to just give you a brief background, if you do want to see Natasha's original testimonial video, I'll put a link to it up there and also in the description, so you can go and have a look at it and see exactly what she's been through. But just a brief description. Natasha had been dealing with ulcerative colitis for 27 years and had tried many, many different things before she managed to find High Carb Health, and we worked together, and she healed herself and she got rid of her disease. And so now we're here. Natasha, you're going to have to remind me how many years it's been since we finished working together, but we're here now and she's going to share what, 5 years, is it?
Yeah, 5 years, yeah.
5 years after she finished working with us, we've got her back on to share with us what it's like to not have to live with ulcerative colitis anymore. So once again, welcome. We're very excited to have you on, and please, I'd love for you to share what it is like to have a life without colitis.
Oh, where'd you start? Yeah, well, when I first started working with yourselves, yeah, I was at desperate point, really. I tried so many things because it'd been like 27 years, I think, something like that I'd suffered with ulcerative colitis. So now it's like, can't believe it that all these years later, that I'm still fine. I have absolutely no trouble. I can cheat a lot and eat all sorts of lovely foods. Nothing, obviously, all plant-based, but and yeah, couldn't be better. It's completely changed my life around, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we were just having a quick chat before we started the podcast, and we wanted to share with everyone what are the things you've been able to do over the last 5 years that you possibly never thought you were going to be able to do again, or that you thought, gee, with my colitis, it's difficult to imagine being able to go and do these things. So can you maybe just give us a few examples of some of these things that you've been able to do?
Yeah. I think, I'm 52 now, and I think I'd got to the point where I felt like my body was giving up, that it was too tired to do anything. I just felt like my body was tired of fighting the colitis and different medicines that I was on. And yes, I have sadly consequences that have a result of having it so long and having medications over the years. But for me now, I feel like I can live a normal life. I think I just got so used to having pain. I got so used to going to the toilet. I got so used to thinking, okay, I can't start my day until 10, 11 o'clock in the morning or later because I need to be at home because I have to keep running to the toilet. That has all, I don't even think about it now. I can't even imagine or remember, ironically, what it's like to have that feeling of that pain. And I used to get this dragging feeling that my guts were being pulled inside out. And I don't get that anymore. So it's like I can just not even think about it. I know I will get up in the morning, go to the bathroom, and then carry on my day like a normal person. Um, and yeah, and although I do have, different problems, I have osteoarthritis and problems with my bones now, osteoporosis. But basically, even though for my age, I feel very fit. I can, yeah, I can get up and do what I want, and I don't even
Mm.
think about it.
Mm.
And eat what I want, really. If you can, on a plant-based diet, I can eat what I want, and it's fine. Yeah, so it's a massive turnaround for me after having. I sort of
Mm.
felt like my life was scheduled in a certain way to deal with the illness, and now I can be free. I think that's the expression. I feel free to go and do anything. I can go on a flight around the world, and even though it turns your stomach upside down in your whole sleeping pattern, it doesn't matter because within a few hours I'm back to normal. It's all those things that used to completely throw my body off. It doesn't seem to have a problem now.
Yeah. And you just mentioned one of the effects of the fact that you had colitis for such a long period of time and that you were on medications for a long period of time, being the
Yeah,
osteoarthritis that you're now dealing with. Um,
yeah,
do you want to just talk about, because there's been some people watching this video that are saying that, okay, well, you know what, I'll just keep taking the medications because it's controlling my situation and, I don't really need to put in the effort or I don't really want to go through with the healing of this because
hmm
I've got it in control. What would you say to people who are just happy to stay on medication maybe because it's under control, but maybe haven't thought about the long-term repercussions of
yeah.
being on these meds for so
Don't.
long?
Yeah, don't do it. Really, really don't do it. Really don't do it. I tell this to people all the time, young ones that I have met who have ulcerative colitis, and they think, oh, it's all right. Um, I just feel it's just horrendous to end up, having other problems. Like now the doctors want to put me on other medication because of the arthritis, which I'm refusing to do. Um, because I don't want to go down that road as it's back to square one with that problem. But it's just not worth it. A short term going through a course, a detox, and then as time goes on, like for me over the last 5 years, you can start eating gradually everything. I've noticed over the years my stomach's got better and better and better to the point where I can go out. Like we're away on vacation, and I went out and I had a vegan burger and French fries last night because I'm away and I can enjoy it. You know, um, I can enjoy every food. So I think why carry on? To me, it doesn't make sense. I wish I'd known this years ago, and I wouldn't be in the situation I am in now with other things with my health. It's just not worth staying on the meds for. It really is not. Really is not. 100%. I would, if I'd known this 20 years ago, I would have jumped on it. Definitely.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. So, yeah, as you mentioned, you are actually right now on vacation, which is
Yeah,
again something that when you have colitis, it's a very difficult decision to make whether you can go on a vacation or not. What is it
yeah,
like to be able to just decide, okay, I want to go to Greece where you're at right now and
yeah.
just do it?
Yeah, yeah, I don't even think about it now. Yeah, and then go out all day yesterday on a boat, which don't even have to worry about it. I can go anywhere, and I'm not even looking for a toilet for that reason. Um,
Mm.
it's just living. It's going back to living a normal life like I used to before. Like I would say for me when I was a teenager.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so you just get to the point you don't even think about it anymore. I almost feel like I haven't had colitis, apart
Mm.
from the other problems I've got with myself, with my body. But I feel like I haven't. I'm like, oh really? Did I really have that? Did I really go through that?
Mm.
Because I just don't have that problem anymore.
Yeah, amazing. And the other thing I wanted you to talk about was just the comparison, right? Just the comparison of what it's like living in, and I really wanted you to talk about this specifically because some of the people we worked with and they've come back and shared how, they've still kept their healthy years after they finished working with us. They didn't have colitis for that long, right? So they may have had it for a few years or, some of them even a few months or a year or something like that. But you've had it for almost a generation, right? So in
Yeah.
terms of in terms of what it's like living with colitis and then not having it anymore, what are the differences? Talk about, some of the decisions you had to make in the past. And, I'm sorry if that brings up some difficult memories,
Yeah.
but compared to what now is the situation for you.
Yeah, I think I would say sadly for me in a way, because I had an autoimmune problem with the colitis, it sort of I ended up with loads of other things that came as a consequence of that.
Mm.
So I ended up with endometriosis, and that led me to have operations and a hysterectomy, which meant it took away my choice if I wanted to have children. And now I've ended up with this osteoarthritis. I sound like I'm a bit of a disaster, really, don't I? But I'm not. It's okay. Um, and I think had I known all of that back then I wouldn't be in the situation I am today. But
Mm.
the thing is now is that I can live that normal everyday life. I think back then it did affect, my husband and I have spent many years living abroad, but within that period of time, it's always been an issue searching for the right doctor, searching for the right medicine, going back home because I haven't been well enough to cope for a period of time, coming back again, not been able to accomplish everything I've wanted to do. I feel like I've sort of done everything, but it's been a massive struggle. I've tried to do everything I've wanted to do, but it's not come easy. It's like I've fought to do things in my life that someone else would just do normally.
Mm.
So it's been a fight the whole way, I would say, of trying to say, okay, right, can we do this? How are you feeling? Are you well enough? Are you going to be able to cope with this? If we go there, what are we going to eat? Is this going to affect you? Are you going to be able to get enough rest? Are you going to be able to have your medicines? If you've got enough medicines to go away with, are we going to be near, toilets? Are we going to have, can we stay in a hotel? No, I don't like staying in a hotel because, what if I eat something and it sets me off, it's been a whole thinking in your life that now I don't really have to worry about. I just worry about it from the other angle now that I want to make sure I'm eating healthy. So we always go to a self-contained apartment, we would say, so I can make my own food if I can't get what I want to eat. So, but
Mm.
I'm choosing to do that, and I enjoy doing that. And there's the difference. Before, I felt like I didn't have a choice.
Mm.
It sort of controlled me rather than me control. I'm controlling it now rather than it controlling me. I think that's the thing.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah,
That's the big thing that we teach, right? You can take control of your own health. You don't need to have your health in somebody else's hand, especially someone with a white coat who's going to be
yeah,
poisoning you with drugs, for example. But
yeah,
yeah, for
yeah.
example, you're showing me your breakfast today. Would you like to show everyone? Here we go.
In
What's in
fact,
there?
inside I have a big bowl of fruit.
Yeah.
So for me, and I think this is what really keeps me stable, is a smoothie and a big bowl of chopped up fruit, and then I pour the smoothie on the top of it to make a sauce, and then I eat that. And then sometimes I end up carrying this with me all morning because I get full up on all the fruit and I can't eat it all. I keep drinking this. Um, but yeah, that and I feel it's the fruit intake in the morning that really keeps me stable.
Mm.
And I think I've only missed a smoothie one day in 5 years when I couldn't get a machine to make one. Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's amazing.
absolutely. It's like I have to have it every day, and it keeps
Mm.
me stable. So, yeah, it is definitely a lifestyle choice that I have now,
Mm.
but it keeps me completely stable and happy and healthy
Mm.
and energetic.
Mm. And
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but from my own experience, when we go on holiday, we do the same thing. We go and rent a place that's got a kitchen so we
yeah,
can make our own food. And
yeah,
it's not because we're forced to do it, as you said. It's a
yeah,
preference, right? Like
yeah,
you don't want to go and eat at a restaurant every single day because you know that this food is not going to make you feel that good. But as you did
yeah,
last night, you do have the option to do that because your gut is healed and it's strong enough
yeah,
that
yeah,
you can. Whereas
yeah.
if you've
And
got,
I don't find it a problem.
hmm,
Um, I enjoy that. For me, it's when you feel so well after feeling ill for so long. why would you want to put yourself in a situation that could possibly make yourself ill again? To me, it's illogical.
Mhm.
It doesn't make sense. So for me to be able to go somewhere away, even if I have to a couple of 2 or 3 times cook my own food, then that's fine. That's great
Mm.
because I know I feel great and I can enjoy myself. It doesn't make any sense to me to do the
Mm.
other, to go out and think, oh, I wish I could eat this. I wish I could eat that. Oh, I wish I could have that piece of fish. Oh,
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
them, having barbecue ribs. And I'm like, no, it's like poison to me. I'm like, no, 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 no. I don't even. I go somewhere and I'm always questioning them in the restaurants. What are they
Mm.
putting in everything? And if there's a chance there's something in it, I'd say I'd prefer to go hungry. Thank you, because I don't want to take the
Yeah.
risk. I'd prefer to go and buy myself a salad or sit and eat some tomatoes or something. It's just you feel
Mm.
much better for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a saying I like to twist a little bit. There was a model that she said, I can't remember what her name was, but she said being skinny is better than anything tastes. Right? Because
Mhm.
obviously that was her kind of, she wanted to have a particular look, but we've kind of twisted that. Feeling good is better than
Yeah.
anything tastes.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
make these decisions because we prioritize feeling good in our bodies over the 5 minute pleasure of something on our tongue.
Yeah. Exactly.
You see?
Yeah. Yeah.
And just talk about the mindset difference that you got doing the program and learning about how the body works and how the body heals, and that makes you feel like actually that is my preference. I would prefer to feel good than focus on what something tastes like.
Yeah. I think it's the beginning of when you start on the journey. It can be very, I would say stressful. And maybe it's a very strong word, but it's very daunting. You don't know what's going to happen, and because you haven't got the education, you are totally putting. I suppose we're totally putting our trust in you to know what you're doing, and that can be quite a difficult mental decision because you spend a lifetime putting your hands in the hand, putting yourself in the hands of the physicians, and they haven't actually helped you. So here comes two guys on an internet course that say that they can change you, and you are skeptical. And but I was desperate. But I said to my husband, well, okay, desperate or not, I'm gonna try it. What have I got to lose? Just a little bit of money. I know, not everybody's got a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of money because we spent our life in volunteer work. But I thought, no, I must do this for myself. And so it took a lot of trust and to gradually learn. But the learning process is very interesting because you don't. How can I explain it? You sort of don't tell us a lot, but you tell us everything by just saying to us, well, try this and eat this and don't do this. And then when you read the books and you realize how people have so much changed and the logical reasoning of eating a plant-based diet, um, it's not based on saying, oh, I'm a vegan because of animal welfare, which is a lot of people's preference, but this is for you personally to have a healthy lifestyle. And I think when you start reading about how and watching all the podcasts and different things of how certain things interact within the body, it just sort of starts to make sense that you're like, yeah, well, that would affect you because my whole life doctors have said, oh, what you eat doesn't really affect you. And I was battling with this in my brain saying it's not logical. Of course it affects you what you eat. And all the gastroenterologists are saying, no, it doesn't. You're just ill and you've got this illness and you've got to take meds for it. So when I started learning the side of how all the all the food, works in your body, and that now your second brain is your gut, then it's like, yeah, this is logical. It makes sense to me. And that's why through the whole thing of learning all that and then starting to see your body change as well by
Mm.
doing it, yeah, it's a no-brainer not to do it really.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing you mentioned because when it comes to nutrition and nutrition theory, and there's a whole lot
Mm.
of you can almost find something to support every kind of nutrition
Yeah,
theory under the sun, right?
yeah,
But very few of them I've found, in my experience, that the theory matches the practice, right?
yeah,
We say this is
yeah,
what's going to happen, and then that is what happens, right? You
yeah,
go through the detox, you go through the withdrawal, you go through the discomfort when healing, and then you start to get better. And then it's like a snowball
yeah,
effect where your body's like improving and improving, improving,
mm,
and then everything goes
mm,
away and you're feeling great, you know. So yeah,
yeah,
it's a slightly more complex initial phase where you've got to learn and understand, and yes, you do have to trust what the not only the research but the what the theory is telling you is going to happen. But again, like
mm,
like it's happened for you and you know more than 1,000 people that we worked with over the last 10 years. It's not
mm-hmm,
just a fluke, you know. It's not like,
yeah,
hey, Sham just did this and then that's what happened, you know. It's like
mm,
it's been
exactly,
repeated over and over and over, and it's the same thing with each
yeah,
person, and it's not just uh, a 20-year-old Indian male that it worked for. You know what I mean?
mm,
It's like, you
yeah,
know, it's we've worked with people from almost every single country in the world, you know, male, female, dark skin, light skin, higher up in the equator, lower, and they all eat the same thing and they all get the same results, you know?
yeah,
And so
yeah,
that's what I love
exactly,
about this is that, you know, you something is, you know something is a truth when it's logically able to be
mm,
replicated, and when it's
exactly,
explained to you, okay, yes, that makes sense to me, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Mm,
It's the logical side of it, I think that, and you have to give it time.
mm,
It's not something you can rush. And I think sometimes people want a quick fix because that's what drugs do. We've got this mentality of quick fix, but it's not. And I would say, even after a year after I healed, every now and then I would have little blips where I'd like, you know, I'd have a few days where suddenly some mucus would start, and I'm like, why have I got this? Why have I got this? But I would just carry on, and keep it a very simple diet, or I'd go back to a couple of days just having potatoes and very simple, and then it would sort of sort itself out again. And that now never even happens. I would say the last 2 or 3 years, I've had absolutely 100% no symptoms at all of anything.
mm,
Um, so yeah, but it is that logical thing. But you've got to give yourself time to go through it and not rush it
mm. And your
and just
body's
do
always
it.
healing. Your body's always healing,
Yeah,
you know, even after you
yeah,
get through the main kind of
yeah,
healing phase.
yeah,
The body's always
yeah.
doing little bits and pieces, and you know you can't expect no one's like 100% perfect, you know.
No,
But the biggest thing that I find that when we teach our clients what to do, that if they do have a little blip, it's like, oh, I know what to do.
yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? It's not like
Yeah,
it's something that, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to me now? It's like, actually, I know what to do. I know how my body heals, and I'll just do these things. And as you've proven already, it kind of just resolves in a matter of days, you know?
yeah. And
Um,
that I read about, or I listened to someone else's podcast back in the day, and that was what someone said. They said, "I know how to heal myself. I know how to do it.
hmm,
And if I go off course, something goes wrong, I know how to do it." And that stuck in my head. And I thought, right, that's what I have to do if something happens. I now know how to do it. I know how to just go back to something very simple to eat. And yeah, it seemed to, yeah, and it works for sure.
yeah. And actually, one thing I wanted to talk about is that, you know, yes, you've had colitis for a long time, and you know, there's been some complications based on, you know, the length of time you've been ill for and how long you've had to take medications for. But, and so, yes, you've got osteoarthritis and it's not ideal. However, what do you think the situation would have been if you hadn't gone through the detox and healed your gut and continued going the way you were going?
Mhm. Well, I know what would have happened because we live in Bulgaria currently, um, and I would have been going back home to UK for sure. Um, I would have most probably been on one of these autoimmune, these. what do they call it, the immune therapy, because that's what they were recommending me, and I was terrified. I didn't want to take it, and I most probably would have been okay for a period of time on it, but we would have had to have started a whole new life again,
Mm.
and maybe me on some sort of disability benefit,
Mm.
because that's the way it was heading, and I really didn't want it. But I could see it. My body was tired, and I couldn't do half the things I was wanting to do. I'd got to the point where everything was like halved in my
Mm.
ability, and I thought, I'm in my 40s. This is crazy. I shouldn't be. I feel like I'm 80.
Mm.
So yeah, it would have. We know because that's where it was going. We'd already discussed it. I think we should pack up and go home and just get you some proper medical care. And I
Mm.
was like, no, I don't want to. I'm not ready for that yet. And that's when I started searching for
Mm.
you. So yeah, I knew what was going to happen. I think I would have been almost disabled by now. I think with this,
Mm. Yeah, and it's quite possible that the other issues that you're dealing with could have been even worse, right?
they would have been, yeah, because of the
Mm.
medication. Yeah, they would have been even worse. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah, for sure.
you're able to now even though you've got this condition, you're able to manage it without medication now,
Yeah,
which most people can't
yeah,
do, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and for the fact that now when if I go to the doctor and I've got a throat infection or something and I want to check, because at one point I had like I thought it was going into a chest infection, and the doctors immediately, well, you've got to take antibiotics, and I'm like,
Mm.
no. Do I really need antibiotics? They said, well, you could just ride it out and see what happens. If it's bacterial, it will show up in x-rays, etc. And I said, okay, well, let's go down that road first. Don't give me antibiotics unless I have to. And every single
Mm.
time I've just sat back and rode it out, and I've not had to take them.
Mm.
And you just take longer to get better. I'm not promoting that people shouldn't go and get treatment if necessary, because you don't want to end up with pneumonia or something. But get the recommended test done, because doctors are very quick at handing out antibiotics when they don't even know if it's a bacterial infection. It could just be a virus. So I tend to just ride it out, keep on the diet, keep taking a few more juices,
Mhm.
give myself some boosts of some things, and yeah, been all
Mm.
right. Not had to take anything like that.
Yeah. I always say, if you're not well, eat more fruit, drink more water, and get more rest. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
and more often than not, it'll always get you better. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
funny story. Like anytime my daughter feels a little bit unwell, she will eat nothing but fruit until she's well again.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
and she's only
Mhm.
8 and she understands this concept that actually my body can
Yeah.
heal itself. I have to give it the right conditions. You
Exactly.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and literally within a day, it never lasts for more than a day. She just goes on fruit, it's done. You know.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just, it's so, I wish I knew that when I was 8 years old. I wish I had
Yeah.
the discipline to actually stick with that when I was
Yeah.
8 years old.
Yeah. I
You know,
know.
but once
I
you
know.
know,
And I thought I had a healthy diet. I really
mm,
believed I had a healthy diet until I did this one, and I realized I didn't. And now I watch other people who think they have a healthy diet, and they might have one piece of fruit a day, possibly, and they think they're on a healthy diet. And I'm like,
yeah,
phew, you know, don't realize what it means to actually be on a
mm,
healthy diet, to eat the amount of fruit you need in your body
yeah,
every day.
yeah. And I actually
Yeah.
think the vast majority of people think they have a healthy diet. Like I thought I had a
Yeah.
healthy diet when,
Yeah.
you know, like even though I would eat McDonald's and KFC and a few other things like that, I thought, oh yeah, that's in moderation. I still have a healthy diet because I eat at home most of the
Exactly.
time, you know.
Yeah.
And the vast majority of people that I work with, they also say, look, I thought I had a healthy diet, you know. I was always healthy until I wasn't. And that just
Yeah.
what that tells you is that you didn't actually have a healthy enough diet because your body has now
Exactly.
told you that that's not what you should have been doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So true.
amazing. Well, you know what? I think you've just done so well. I'm so I'm so happy. You know, like we had it. You know, and one thing that I really appreciate about you is Natasha's always kept me in touch with me every like 6 to 8 months. She'll send me an email or she'll give me a call and say, hey, this is how I'm doing. And you know, the whole time she's been able to like just keep it up and manage herself and you know
Mhm.
keep her health in the right place. And yeah,
Mm,
it's just been wonderful to see you over the last 5 years. Just kind of keep on getting better and better to the point where, as you
mm.
said, you don't even think about it anymore. Um,
Yeah. It's peace of mind as well, isn't it? It's I like to be in touch for you because I think it's really nice for you to see that your work isn't in vain and
mm,
that we do appreciate what you're doing and we are very grateful for helping us um, lead a better life now. Very, very much so. I'm eternally grateful, and so is my husband because he's now been plant based with me, and he feels healthier and happier. So it's made a difference to both of us, for sure. You know, and yeah, it's very good for us to keep in touch with you and let you know what's going on with us. Definitely.
yeah, I really appreciate it. It's a
Yeah.
wonderful thing to stay in touch, and you know, as you said, yes, it's wonderful just to see that you've been able to keep it up, and yes, the principles that we teach, like obviously we know that works because Shannon's been doing it for 13 years now, and yeah, to see all these long-term clients now coming back and sharing their success on the podcast is really
Hmm.
nice, and it's really nice for people watching this too. You can see like a lot of people when we first started this are saying, well, okay, they might be getting better, but can they keep it up? Well, we've had at least
Yeah.
4 or 5 people come back this year who've been healed for more than
Hmm.
4 years come and share that. And yes, you do this right, you do this properly, and you will heal yourself and you will be able to maintain your health. And that's what
Yeah.
Natasha's here to share and show everyone that that's what's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just lifestyle change. People change their lives all the time for different things, don't they? So why not
yeah, yeah.
this one?
Yeah,
You
why not?
know.
Absolutely. So, as we conclude the session, I'd love for you to give some advice. I think you're one of the best people. You know, and maybe I know you're a person of faith. Maybe even talk about the faith aspect of how your trust in something bigger than yourself can help with this journey. Before we give some advice, I'd like you to touch on that. How faith plays a role or has played a role in your healing journey and then also after.
Yeah, I think I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, so um, I very much believe as well that what we teach people is to prove it to yourselves. And I said to you earlier, if people want to find out the truth, read about it. Um, so I would say to people of faith, read the Bible.
Hmm.
There you will find the answers to the questions if you are going down that road of Christianity. And it's the same thing with this in a funny sort of way that, you've got to read about it. You've got to prove it to yourself to have it to make sense. And, and that's what you have to do with this whole journey. And you have to try it, put it into practice and see the results. And I think when you have a strong belief, it helps you um, appreciate what you've got, um, helps you feel more positive. And I would say, for me, it sort of helped me to continue doing what I'm doing because if you have a strong belief in something, it keeps you positive and it keeps you looking forward rather than going into a negative spiral of, oh, is this all life is?
Hmm.
You know, my belief is I do believe there's a better life ahead. Um, but it helps you to continue on that, I would say, on that road, really, without going into that awful spiral of, oh, that's it. This is the end of my life. I don't know what to do. I'm so sick. I'm never going to get better. But it's having that positive outlook um, and determination to do it, and that you can, and for me in particular, I would say as well, prayer was a big help to me in all of this.
Hmm.
It really helped me to keep a balance with it all and not be like super fanatical and crazy, like, but at the same time to rely on God to help me through the difficult times.
Yeah. And I find what I see is that healing yourself is also a bit like having some kind of faith. You have to believe
Yeah,
in something before it happens, right?
yeah.
Like with God,
Mhm,
you can't see God, but you believe in Him
mhm,
before the evidence is presented to you,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
Same thing with healing. You have to believe that you are healed before the evidence is presented to you. And then, especially when you
mhm,
go through the detox,
mhm,
it's like a whole spiritual experience of actually believing in something before the
mhm,
evidence is presented
mhm,
to you. And I think
mhm.
having faith actually makes that process easier because you've already done that in a
Yeah,
different way in your life.
yeah. Yeah, there's a verse in the Bible that says faith is the assured expectation of the things hoped for, although
Hmm.
there's no evidence of that. So you are seeing it around you that it's true. You are seeing around you that people are getting better and they're being healed. Like you can see around you that there's a creator
Hmm.
from all the beautiful creation, but you then have to go on that journey to make it real for you
Yeah.
and to have that faith in the evidence.
Yeah.
And I would say that is, you know, exactly what this is with this healing process as well. 100%, 100%. And I said to you earlier, and it is quite funny that people laugh at me as well. They say I've got two religions now because I just have to be careful how I preach, not to drive everybody mad. But you know, on both aspects. But yeah, it's 100%. That's what it is. It's a complete change of lifestyle. It's having a belief in something. It's realizing it's for your benefit, and it can help you move forward in the future.
Absolutely, it's beautifully put. So I'm really glad you shared that because that's a big part of who you are now. And all of these
Thank
stories
you.
are very much about our clients and who they are and sharing their journeys and their personalities. So I'm really glad that we were able to, hear that about you and for you to share that with us. And I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, you're
Um,
welcome.
so yeah, let's just finish off with some advice. Based on everything that you've been through, everything that you experienced, going through the healing, having a life after colitis. What would you tell someone who's watching this and thinking about what they should do about their IBD or their situation that they're facing?
Yeah. Well, I think they need to read up, do a lot of reading if they're hesitant about doing the course. Um, Listen to all the podcasts, read about it all. Um, Go on the web and look at other people who've got other illnesses that have got better on a plant-based diet. Look at the game changers, you know, the video, all these type of things, to build up a background of that. It's not just two guys telling you that, this is the correct way. Research about some of the doctors. Forks Over Knives had a big impact on me. Look at these logical, responsible men who have researched this for many, many years and realized that this is logical and it works. And then try it gradually, look into it and then try it because you've got nothing to lose. You can't get any worse than you are already. So, you know, you can only get better. You're either going to stay as you are or you're going to get better. It's not going to get worse.
Hmm.
So why not try it? I think, and that's the way I looked at it. I thought,
Hmm.
what have I got to lose in all of this? I'm only going to get worse.
Yeah, no, that's great. And then look at where you are now. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
you
amazing.
just
Yeah,
decided that look, I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to give it a try, and
yeah,
your
yeah,
whole life has changed for the
yeah,
better.
yeah. Because you
Mhm.
can't change the fact that we all get illnesses and we get sick at the moment. That's
Mm.
life.
Mm.
Um, but we've just got to do what we can do to cope with it and live a quality of life. And if
Mm.
this is one way you can do it, then why eat something that's going to make you sick? You just have to switch your mentality that it doesn't really matter. It's like anybody that's got maybe a problem with alcohol or smoking or whatever it is and they want to stop.
Mm.
You have to get to a point where you have to change your mindset to be able to do it, and then it will work. Then you'll be able to do it. And it's the same with this. Once you decide, yeah, I can do this, then it will work. Then you'll succeed.
Absolutely. It's like Henry Ford said, you know, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah, that's it.
It's so true. It's so true. All right. Well, you know, Natasha, thank you so much for coming back onto the channel and sharing, you know, your continued success after working with us and it just brings me so much joy to see you doing so well and having your health back. And that's why we do it. You know, after what Shamiz
Yeah,
went through, that's why we just gave up everything that we were doing in our lives to do this and coach people to get better. So, yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah.
just, I feel really blessed that you came on
Yeah.
again and shared your story
And
with
thank
us
you for
again.
having me. I appreciate it very much. I'm very happy I'm healthy now.
Yeah,
Thanks to you.
fantastic. So there you go, guys. Another story, another follow up story of someone who's managed to keep their health, managed to stay healed 5 years after working with us, and she's still doing great. She's obviously right now in a beautiful part of the world in Greece and enjoying her life after colitis with her smoothie. Absolutely, that's what it's all about, you know. And so if you're watching this or you're listening to this, you know, please, you know, give this video a thumbs up so that it reaches more people. Subscribe to the channel or to the podcast so that you get notified of all future episodes. And especially if you click that little bell notification, you will get notified of all our future uploads, including more testimonials like this. And if you have any questions, there's a comment section down below, so please ask and we'll do our best to answer as best as we can. Otherwise, Natasha, once again, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much. Take care.
And for everyone watching, make sure that you eat plants and lots of them.